And today we will begin our adventure right here at the Carolina Beach Lake. And look at this cute little baby duck right here. He's walking around, pecking around. He's got his parents sitting here kind of watching after him. It's kind of cute to sit here and watch them because they just watch over it and they let the little baby duck kind of stretch its legs this morning. And that is a small little baby duck. He is fresh. It is going to be a great day, I do believe. We will begin our adventure right here at good old Veterans Island. And look at the flags up there. They are whipping in the wind today. Boy, it is pretty breezy out here this morning. They actually have an air show going on today about 2 o'clock, and they had one yesterday, I think at 3 o'clock. I wasn't in town at the time, so I didn't get to see any of it, and unfortunately, I won't even be able to see it today because I got other plans to go do other things, if you will. Well, good morning, my friends. Welcome to the channel, Hitchhiking Yeti here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's going to be a pretty easy vlog. We're just going to kind of cruise around town. We're going to walk around town. We're going to look at some stuff. I want to talk to you about future plans, things I'm going to be into, which could give you a hint at some of the content coming down the road that I'm going to share with you. And yeah, let's go out here. I have heard that the beach nourishment project is over. So they have already started removing the piping, which is a great thing. Those pipes are pretty ugly out there on the beach. So let's go ahead and head over toward the boardwalk. I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that's coming up here on the channel as we stroll along. Good to have you here, by the way. Let's get started. Okay, I've walked down the road a piece now. You can see magic beans across the road, the fat pelican. And now we're going to kind of talk a little bit about some of the things I have going on pretty soon. Me and my wife, matter of fact, for my birthday is going to set out and drive from North Carolina all the way down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to board a cruise ship in Fort Lauderdale instead of Port Canaveral. And I don't know, it's so weird. I've never been to Fort Lauderdale before. And, you know, I've looked at Google Maps. I know where the parking is, but since I've never been there before and you're going on a cruise and that boat will leave you no matter what, it's one of those things where it's a little bit of a stressful feeling. Now, I'm not going to drive all the way through straight to Fort Lauderdale because that would be insane. That is a really long drive. I am going to drive as far as I think Vero Beach. I actually have a hotel there. I'm going to stay tonight and then get up the next day and drive another, I think 2 hours and 45 minutes to 3 hours to Fort Lauderdale, and then board our cruise ship. And we're really excited about that, but as it gets closer, I gotta say, it's a little nerve-wracking to go to a new place. And cause we was in Miami Homestead area for right before New Year's. And people down there drive different. I just say different to be nice. They are pretty aggressive down there in the Miami area. So Fort Lauderdale is just like right next door to Miami. It's not far. So there on Interstate 95, you know, you really got to have your head on a swivel. But that is approaching fast. That is not far away when we leave. So just wanted to throw that out there. There will be probably some cruise or some island videos coming up in the next several weeks. Okay, so I made my way over here now to the Carolina Beach Boardwalk. And look what has made its way into the boardwalk area. That is right, they have brought in the carnival rides are starting to be set up. Check that out. I did not expect to see that today, but it's happening. And oh my goodness, even though Britt's Donuts now has been open for several weeks, look at the line this morning. Wow, it's backed up all the way to the tropical. And that there is what the giant Ferris wheel looks like when it's not set up. Just on like these big tractor trailers. It's all laid down and compacted like a transformer. That's kind of interesting. And then we can walk right over here, and here is the new bathrooms. Yes, it does look to be open. It is open. Everything has been removed. All the like fencing and stuff they had around this bathrooms have now been removed. Got a couple nice water fountains over here, right at the entrance. Yeah, I'm not gonna walk in there because I think that's in bad taste, but nonetheless, did want to show you kind of what it looks like. So let's take a little walk up here on the boardwalk itself and see if the ocean side of the boardwalk is open. I'm sure it is. Okay, so I walked up the ramp, and sure enough, everything is open. Let's walk up here and see what kind of view we have from the boardwalk side for these bathrooms. Man, they still got some of the stuff for the air show set up. And here is another kind of maybe a better view of the giant wheel. Right there you go. And I would imagine probably in the next week, I bet that thing would be fully extended. So yeah, man, this is nice. These bathrooms, this is really cool. I'm so happy they do have doors. You know, that's really cool. I like that sign right there. It's pretty rad. But wow, look at the view up here. Really, really nice. It's beautiful. I would imagine people are going to come up here and take selfies and pictures and stuff, right? I can just totally see that happening. And that right there must be the speakers that is for the air show later today. I guess they talk about what kind of tricks they're doing. And there's another set. Well, there's several sets down the beach, but right over there's some more. And off in the distance, right there beyond that dune, you can see the tops of some more speakers where people can just kind of hang out here. I've seen some pictures online. It was really cool looking. Some kind of like World War II style planes out here doing a bunch of air moves, doing some Top Gun Maverick stuff, you know. Okay, so I wanted to walk out here to the beach just to get a little bit better view of these speakers. And these things are massive. I bet these bad boys are super loud. But as you can see out here on the beach itself, all the pipes here at Carolina Beach have been removed. And I do know they're doing the same thing down toward Curie Beach, because if you go on surfchecks.com and click on Curie Beach, you can see the video camera that points out to the beach and looks down the beach. And you can see all the piping down there is being removed also. So it is completed. Beach Nourishment project of 2026 is finally done. And that looks a little new right there. Look at those orange, they got an orange buoy like straight out in front of me. And then there's another one down the beach a little way. I wonder what those are for. I wonder if that has something to do with the air show. Like as a marker or something, like where the people, since it's right here in front of the boardwalk, where the marker is to kind of help the planes know where to begin their tricks or do their tricks or whatnot. Not really sure. But I know that's not normally there, and I cannot believe these people are actually in the ocean. Water temp today is 69 degrees. That's still pretty dang chilly. And that wind definitely makes it feel cooler out here, that is for sure. So all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and walk back up here on the boardwalk. And we're gonna walk down to the new cinnamon roll shop and see what's going on there, because I had read online that their grand opening is this weekend. Yeah, drone up there. He's probably videoing us, but we're videoing him all at the same time. The thing's pretty loud. I like to have a drone. I think having a drone would be really cool. Problem is, here on YouTube's, when you're monetized, you have to have that Part 107, I think it's called. You have to have it like a drone license, a small craft license, in order to even fly that thing. You can't be monetized and fly it without that. And that can be a hard test to pass, I've heard. You need some time to study for it, and my gosh, I'm always so busy trying to talk my wife in. She's very smart. Trying to talk her into doing it. And then she can just be like the drone pilot as I walk around, and she can fly the drone around and show like a bird's eye view of like where I'm at. I think that's how I would use it too. I always like to show people like where you're at, kind of like, but that would be like the awesome way to do it, is to have a drone. To like fly it over like right now. Like when I'm doing my intro, do like a flyover showing like the boardwalk area, like where we're going to be headed to, where you guys can kind of see. But I mean, a lot of you who come down here on vacation, you know where I'm at, but there's people out there who don't know. They don't live anywhere close to here. And I think that would be a helpful thing. I might continue to work on that in the future. Maybe we can get us a drone sometime. That would be really, really cool, pretty rad. You see those people walking right there? They were just talking about hot dogs here on the boardwalk, and this guy was walking down through here, and he looks over and he says, "Oh, this here was some awesome hot dogs. This is one of my favorite hot dog places." And the woman corrected him quickly and said, "No, it's not the same place." And he was like, "Yeah, it is. This is it." He was 100% sure that this was the location where he got his favorite hot dog. Now, he's talking about years ago, and I know exactly what he's talking about. But it wasn't this location, because this location's only been here for several years. He's thinking about on the opposite side of the boardwalk, as I'm all darked out. He's talking about an old hot dog shop called the Trolley Stop Hot Dogs that used to be here years ago, probably over 10 years ago when Trolley Stop was here. But they still have a Trolley Stop over in Wrightsville Beach, and they're still delicious. I like them. I actually put them in a video a year or so ago when I was over there doing a little walk around, and they were really good. Me and my wife tried several hot dogs, like 4 different flavors of hot dogs, because they put jalapenos, all kinds of stuff on their hot dogs. They really jazz it up. But I have had hot dogs here, and I like these hot dogs too. You know, I like a lot of different styles of hot dogs. These hot dogs here are those really red ones. Like, it ain't lying. Like in this picture, you see how red that hot dog is? Their hot dogs here, it hooked on hooks, is that red. No kidding. And this here is some of their prices. You know, for our economy and where we are right now as prices and stuff, they're not bad. Pretty good, actually. I was actually at a Lowe's, and there was a food truck there, and they were selling hot dogs for like $7 a piece. And look, you can get 2 for $5 here. So pretty cool. And they got smoked sausage. They got all beef veggie dogs. So definitely don't forget about this place. And if you like fried bologna sandwiches, man, look at there. You're all hooked up. Okay, so I've made my way down here to Rutt's Cinnamon Rolls, home of the Big Fatty. I like that surfboard up there. That looks pretty awesome. Pretty cool, actually. And you can see right here, they have some information. A Big Fatty roll is $9.36. Add bacon for $2.08. Big Fatty Baker's dozen 13 rolls are $108. For those prices, these things must be massive. Rutt's fresh hand squeezed lemonade, 32 ounces. No mix, no syrup, no shortcuts, no BS. I do like that. Sugar-free available. Got some sweet tea. You can get a Rutt's Arnold Palmer. Pretty cool. They got coffee here. And it says, "Did you know our Big Fatties are easy to freeze and reheat to take a dozen home until next time?" And then right here is a close-up and personal picture of the Big Fatty. We don't call them Big Fatties because we're mean. That's pretty good. So there is another option here on the boardwalk for a sweet treat if you like cinnamon rolls. Keep that in mind. Okay, so I've made a loop now. I've made my way down here to the Tropical. And when I first got here this morning, the Brits Donut line was right here. So it has dissipated a little bit. It's getting better. I just seen somebody who definitely has never been here before. She walked by and she looked at the line and she talked to somebody she knows, I guess, that left the hotel a little bit earlier this morning. And she go, golly, this is the line for donuts? And they're like, yeah. And she said, are they that good? And somebody else said, well, heck yeah. All right, I snagged myself a swing out here on the boardwalk. And boy, it is feeling pretty toasty out here. Hard to believe a week from right now, I will be somewhere in the Bahamas. I don't know what island I'm gonna be on. We're actually cruising on Disney's newest ship. It's called the Disney Destiny. And it only sails out of Fort Lauderdale. That's the reason we're going to Fort Lauderdale. Because we was on the inaugural sailing of the Disney Treasurer in Christmas of 2024. And that was awesome. That was one of the coolest ships I have ever been on. That was amazing. And the good thing about going on these ships is so much fun. And one reason why I'm not eating a whole lot right now is because when you're on those ships, it's an all-inclusive cruise. So all your food, all your drinks, all your desserts, everything is available from the early morning to late night. You can get whatever you want, as much as you want. And I have a hard time going on those cruises. I feel like, you pay so much money to go on a cruise. I feel like I got to eat my money's worth. And I know there's probably the wrong mindset going into it. But I don't know. The food is really, really good. I enjoy the heck out of it. And then when I get back, you feel like crap, but you are relaxed. And because when you're on a cruise, I don't buy any kind of internet packages or anything. Yeah, I'm pretty much unplugged when I'm on that ship. You have very little access to anything. One thing I can do is for whatever reason, you can go on YouTube Studio and you can somewhat answer comments. And that's what I normally do. I sit on the ship, lay out in the sun, read a book. I actually finished my book last year. I have to get me some new reading material. A friend of mine at work actually, he's gonna bring me some comic books. I've never read comic books in my life, but he's gonna bring me some comic books, and I think I'm gonna read some comic books, Spider-Man, Superman, and stuff like that, and see if I enjoy that. I was never a big reader growing up, not really. I mean, I could do schoolwork and read like that, comprehend, take tests, but I was never really the type of kid that could sit down and just read a book and have fun with it, because I was such an outdoor nut. I didn't care if it was cold outside or hot outside, it didn't matter. I had to go get on my bicycle, go walk through the woods, play in the creek, go fishing. That was me. I was like that. Sandbox, oh my goodness. You guys ever have a sandbox before? Man, when I was a kid, I had a sandbox, man. My poor little Hot Wheels and Dukes of Hazzard cars I had, and Boss Hog and all that stuff. Magnum P.I. had his little car. He had a Ferrari, wasn't it? Used to love playing with that stuff. Oh, the A-Team. I had a little A-Team van. I'd race them. I'd build like little tracks in my sandbox, race that around. Yeah, that was kind of my childhood. That's what I enjoyed doing. So, don't know how we went from cruising to that, but yeah. Well, I think all that being said, my friends, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for me today. Little walk and talk around Carolina Beach. And I think I'm gonna go back to the house and trim the hedges. Get the house looking a little bit better before we take off on our little vacation. So all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you in my next adventure. Y'all stay safe, and I hope to see you again soon. This is kind of my view right now. You're up just high enough to see over the dunes when you're sitting on these swings. My wife and my niece is out there somewhere playing in the sand. My niece is not going to be happy because once this video is over, we have to go back to the house. And she was really looking forward to spending some time out here on the beach today. We'll come back out here later. All right, I'm really done now. Y'all have a good one.